Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing well. So in this video I'm just going to share with you guys a bit of a life update, channel update, basically share with you guys a bit about how I've been feeling, what I've been going through, and the things that the Lord has placed into my heart for this coming academic year. So let me be real, I've been going through it a bit the last 2 weeks or so. I don't really know what it is. I think it might be part of the culture shock coming back to this country after spending a year abroad. It might just be changes in my family, it might just be changes in life or age, or being away from this country and this culture for so long and coming back into it. I think my identity kind of was a bit shaken. Like, I was so used to who I was in Singapore and how I lived my life, and, you know, going uni and meeting new people and being the only black person, and the way I dressed, the way I look, everything. But then when I came back to London, I really noticed how, wow, I've changed so much for how I was before, and I don't really feel like I fit in as much anymore, which is not a bad thing at all. But I think I was really shocked by that, and I was like, whoa, like, God, please secure me in your word. So anyway, so I do this thing each year where I have a quarterly review. I just do like a check-in with myself, you know, where I am spiritually, where I am academically, emotionally, mentally, physically, and just sort of do like a MOT on my life and see, okay, what goals have you set that you've not done, or how's your health, how's your fitness, your social life, how are you doing emotionally and interpersonally, all of that sort of stuff. So I had my review, my second quarterly review in August, and it just really shed so much light on the journey I've been on in this year. You know, we're only in the 9th month now, and I've just seen how God has really been faithful, and he's also taught me as an individual. Like, I've learned to heed the voice of the Lord and hear him and hear his calling and his leading. So yeah, that just kind of overwhelmed me and made me really emotional, and I was kind of struggling and thinking about, you know, what do I do when I graduate from uni, and a lot of questions were popping up. And please just pray for me, guys, you know, for wisdom and for direction from the Lord, and also for courage to obey. But yeah, so I was going through a lot of internal struggle in that sense, with trying to decide whether my desires for certain careers were of the Lord, or whether they were from selfish desire or selfish ambition, trying to gain earthly accolades and stuff. So I was just having a little bit of a battle in that sense. And then I was thinking so much about going back to uni, and I am so excited to be going back to university. I love it there, I really do, and I can't believe my uni experience is coming to an end. This time next year, by the grace of the Lord, I would be a graduate, and it's crazy because the years have flown by, and I think there was a lot of gratitude in that sense, where I was reflecting and seeing how God has been faithful in these 4 years, you know, first year, second year, third year, and now I'm going to my final year of study, and God has been with me every single step of the way. And I was just thinking, okay, Lord, I'm going into my final year. You know, I've been on a year away, I've had that time out, I've had a time to really invest in my spiritual life, to get into the word, to hear from you, be exposed to different cultures, serve. But what is it that you want from me when I go back to University of Birmingham? What is it that you want me to do? How do you want me to be used in this final year? And he revealed to me that this final year of uni is not just about getting a good grade. Like, there's impact to be made in your community, there's impact that you need to make, and there's things you need to do, there's ways you need to serve people, there's ways you need to pour out your life to other people so that they can pour into other people who are coming. And it's all generational. Through all of that sort of conversation with God, and through all of that reflection and seeing where I am spiritually and physically and everythingly, I've come up with sort of 4 points and take-home points that I'm really holding on to as I go into my final year. I'm really striving to attain, I'm really striving to achieve as I go into my final year. I hope these just encourage you and maybe give you some direction and vision as well. So my first assignment is to be salt and light. To be salt and light, and to really shine and savor, and just every single environment I go into, every single environment, I must show forth the glory of the Lord. I think for me, this was something that challenged me, because for so long I've been away from Birmingham, I've been away from that city. A lot has changed and I've changed a lot, and I was worried that, you know, I'm going to go back to this university, maybe I'm going to go back to some of the same friends, there's going to be loads of new friends, but I don't want everything that God has accomplished with me and God has done in me to just be erased when I go back to a familiar environment. And so for me, I have to really be intentional about being salt and light, and to really hold on to these truths that God has taught me and how He's transformed me and changed me so I can continue. I do believe God brings people into your life sometimes that they can learn from you, and there's some things that you have in life and some experiences that you have that will help them and give them wisdom for their season. And I think that's exactly what God wants me to be open about. God doesn't want me to just go to university and sit in the library and spend all my time just reading the library without taking time to invest in other people. And that brings me on to the second point, actually. So the second thing I really am committed to doing this year is building relationships with people. Like, another season is coming fast to an end. I don't know if I'm going to ever settle in Birmingham, or if I'm ever going to come into contact with certain people that I have in this university setting. And so it's very important for me to make an effort to build genuine relationships with people, not just social media, hey, hi, how are you, but actually pour into people and not just go into a little corner, not just go into my little comfort zone like I used to do, like I always do, but actually push myself out of the environment. And I think it's going to be harder for me now because a lot of my friends have graduated. So I'm in a bit of a weird position because I did a year abroad. A lot of my friends who would have only been on a 3-year course would have graduated. And not only that, because I've been away for a year, it'll be 2 years of students that I don't know. So the second years, I won't know any of them because they were in first year when I went abroad. And now the new first years, which are coming now, I won't know. And so I guess God is trying to break down the barrier of fear in terms of building relationships with people. And I'm excited to do life with people more. I'm excited to see the sort of friendships and relationships that God will build in a short space of maybe 9 months, because it's not really a year, is it? It's like 9 months. Moving on from that, another one of my assignments and my purposes is to display diligence and excellence in my studies. Now, I know I said I don't want to be a bookworm and I don't want to just be in the library and but also I must be diligent in every single aspect of my life. I must radiate excellence. I must focus on my studies. I can't be procrastinating. I can't be slothful. This might actually be a problem, and this might actually be a challenge for some of us because we don't really like reading. We don't really like, or we miss deadlines and we sort of just get by the year. But I'm going into my final year with the same attitude that I tried to go into my first, second and third year. Write up my notes, get ahead, don't leave things till reading week and don't leave things till later on, because that's when stress comes, that's when you pile on time, and that's when you begin to compromise your quiet time with the Lord for studying or your prayer time with the Lord for studying. Another thing I really want to focus on is being faithful to God and my study of His Word and being loyal to Him, not letting the fire burn out, not becoming slack in my reading of the Word, being disciplined enough to say, okay, I'm going to wake up at this time each morning, or okay, I need to start heading home at this time each evening in order to get my Bible study in order to spend time with God, in order to pray, in order to sing, in order to worship. I really want to keep going in that strive that I've set up, that pattern or habit of reading God's Word that I've set up, being faithful to my call to be part of a community, attending Bible study, attending prayer meetings, that sort of thing. Those are things that I really am going to focus in on as well when I go into my final year, and staying faithful to the Lord and being loyal to Him. And also in terms of like writing posts and YouTube, even though I mentioned that as a last point, that of course is the most important point and everything else will flow from that. One thing I actually don't think I've shared on this channel, I started like a plant-based diet basically. In July, I basically kind of turned vegan. I wouldn't like to call myself vegan. I like to say I'm plant-based, so I eat a lot of plant-based foods. I eat fruits, I eat vegetables. I don't eat meat or fish anymore. I cut that out of my diet. And I've been actually doing this for 2 months, so this is like my 2-month anniversary, and I guess that's another thing I'm going to focus on. And just taking care of my temple. I do stress that a lot now to myself. You need to eat well, you need to get enough exercise, get enough sleep, drink a lot of water. So that would probably be like a side focus. It's not my main four, but it is like a side focus, and it's something I'm really exploring. I may get some of that content out on this channel later on. I'm still getting guidance from God to see where He wants that content to go. because this channel was initially dedicated to just literally opening up the Bible, giving words of encouragement, giving exhortation. A few questions about makeup and my opinion and, you know, what I think. And I'm working on a piece currently called Bound, which is where I'm going to share my makeup testimony, sort of the journey God took me through in terms of not just makeup really, just generally appearance, how I dress, how I look, how I adore myself, everything. So that's coming out really soon. If you haven't subscribed to my blog, I'm going to put a link up and do check it out. I've got more faith-based content on my blog. That's the end of my life update. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.